This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest, joining me today for a very timely but overdue update. Is the president and CEO of Almadex Minerals, Dr. Morgan Poliquin. Morgan, it is great to have you on. It's been too long. How are you today, sir?
Doing great. Thanks so much for having me on. I hope you and your readership all have a great Christmas, and looking forward to giving this update.
Wonderful. Well, listen, it's clear to me from the most recent release that you have really decided to go back to your knitting. And your knitting has always been, in my opinion, two things: vetting and bringing in very high quality prospective projects, whether it's in the gold space, the silver space, the copper space. You've had a history in your family of doing that extremely well. And the second thing that you do very well is you make discoveries on a lot of these properties. And so when I see the recent pivot into more of a North American focused exploration portfolio, and I couple that with the fact that you're trading, I think it's something like $5 million below what the cash position in the company is. And then I remember that you own, I believe it's up to 6 drills now. And we have a gold bull market. I think we're going to have a copper bull market. And that's right around the corner here in 2024. So when I look at all that, Almadex is one of the most undervalued speculations for gold, copper, and silver exposure. So I thought it'd be a good time to have you on to speak about the portfolio, and maybe for those that aren't yet positioned, to explain the value proposition, because there's a ton of value at these levels.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, we're prospectors. I focus on finding things at the earliest of stages. We think that early stage prospecting for our skill set provides the greatest value proposition. And you're right, we do have a history of finding things where there were no things on the map before. For example, in Mexico, our work resulted in 3 discoveries, 2 in Veracruz and one in Puebla State. And unfortunately, in Mexico, for 5 years or so, there's been a moratorium on new concessions. So we've been focused on that portfolio in Almadex, and we pivoted to really focusing on the United States. We have long history of doing work in the United States, and we feel like there are tremendous opportunities to, believe it or not, make new discoveries. And that's our focus. We're not looking at redeveloping old mining camps. We feel that there are things to do where there aren't existing claims, to stake your own claims. The low entry price obviously involved in that, and then to do the preliminary work and hopefully obviously make a discovery through diamond drilling. And we're fully integrated. So I mean by that we have all the internal skill set to do that preliminary work. I focus on the generative aspects, and then right up to drilling. So we do own diamond drills, and we feel that early drilling is key to value creation in the discovery process. That should be obvious, but oftentimes you'll find that drilling is some of the last things done. And because we have, by owning our own drills, cheaper internal drilling costs, we're able to use the drill as a prospecting tool, and it's the only way of evaluating the potential. So I'm really excited to be working in the United States again. We've staked a number of targets, and one of them we've talked about already as being a project that we think has potential, in particular for copper in Arizona. And in our latest release, we've talked about some of the stuff we're doing in other parts. But basically, the western part of the United States, it remains highly prospective. That should be obvious. There's some of the world's biggest copper and gold deposits in Nevada and Arizona and Utah and New Mexico. Those 4 states are really where we're kind of looking for early stage opportunities to stake. And what our plan is to, not all of these early stage targets are going to result into things that we're going to want to drill necessarily, but the idea, is obviously to work through them and to keep generating. And it's really exciting to be back to our old knitting and our old stomping ground, really. And so expect us to in the next year to be talking about this early stage work. And in January we expect to be able to announce what in more detail what our plans will be for 2024.
Well, I am looking forward to it. I am looking forward to drilling. I know that there's a great likelihood that multiple properties get drilled. Most of these are 100% owned. Where's the cash position today, Morgan?
At the end of the last quarter, we're 17 million in cash, and obviously that gives us the luxury here, I think you might say, of being able to decide how we're going to advance projects. I really believe that early stage drilling is, it might not result in a discovery immediately, but but you're exposing yourself to that while at the same time you're advancing the project and giving you the information needed to either remove it from further spending if you don't find what you're looking for there, which is an important thing to do. You don't want to waste time on projects, or to provide the information to vector in. So that's really what that cash position allows an early stage generative company like us to be able to do, the flexibility to advance it.
Excellent. I want to remind everyone, 17 million in the bank, $13 million market cap, 6 drills, and a portfolio of not just properties, but royalties as well, that provide excellent exposure to future revenue. It sounds like an exciting 2024. I'm looking forward to it. Morgan, thank you again for taking the time and providing the update.
Thank you very much, Gerardo. I appreciate it.
Take care now.
You too.
Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.